Militants, thank you for your love and support. I appreciate you all. The great United States of America. According to the former U.S. Marine, that the United States is a coward nation. They can never fight any war and win. According to him, what they do is divide and conquer. They fight weaker nations like Africa. You see, where we are divided, that is where US will come in. Before they will even enter into any country, the first thing they do is to divide the people, create enmity among the people, so that when they now come in, because we are divided, we will not unite as one people to fight. So they will be fighting against one side and the other brothers will just be looking at them. This has been the tactics of the United States of America. Africans were easily conquered because of this divide and rule. This has always been the weapon the West and America are using against us. They can never defeat us. They know that. World War II, we went and fought for them. Over 2 million people lost their lives. All in the name of setting Britain free. But the African can never team together to fight against these people that are causing destabilization in Mali, Niger, and Burkina Faso, in Congo, in South Sudan, in Sudan. Look at what these people are doing to us.
They're cowards. So yeah, America's moral authority hasn't existed for decades with the policy of the United States over the last few decades, and that would be to completely destroy the Middle East. Donald Trump is owned by the very same interests that own the U.S. Congress, and the policies are to continue to destroy the Middle East. And aside from that, the United States never fights anybody who can fight back. We're cowards. We don't pick on people who can fight back. There's a very big misunderstanding amongst the people of the world who don't have psychopathic, sociopathic qualities. See, for those of us who have any level of humanity, we don't want war. But there's a big problem. Those who are in charge actually have a major incentive to have war. Now, the bankers who run the world, literally by having an infinite supply of money, while us dupes allow ourselves to pay interest, we're continuing to flirt with a third world war. It seemed that people in World War II realized, especially with Hiroshima and Nagasaki, that we could not do this a third time. But apparently we've been cast under another spell and seem to forget that we do have the capacity to destroy this planet. Now, those of us who have any kind of sanity and humanity realize the dangers of this, but those who are running the world through the control of finance have a major incentive to incite war, because more important than the money that they control is the most important parameter of a tyrannical system, a tiny minority ruling over the masses. And that principle is you will never be able to rule people if you cannot divide them. So you must divide them. What divides people more than anything else? War, mass murder, horrendous crimes, torture. Things like that are good in the view of a banker. So the bankers have a major incentive just as a carte blanche reality of where they are. But right now they have an extra added incentive, and that incentive is that the consciousness of humanity is rising, and many of the key principles of the tyrannical system we're dealing with are being exposed. But the major point that I want to make right now is that those who are in charge of this world have a major incentive to instigate a third world war. There's 100,000 victims in Iran from the chemical weapons that Saddam Hussein used with the aid of the CIA. This is a matter of public record. Let us remember how he was our favorite little attack dog in the Middle East, and that we had to attack Iran for having the audacity of getting rid of our puppet, the Shah. And the Iranians, all too ironically, while being told, the whole West being told that these are the evil people who want to exterminate the Jews and all this kind of nonsense, the Iranians had an amazing debate within their nation back in the 80s when they were being attacked by weapons of mass destruction from Saddam Hussein and chemical weapons, and there was a debate about whether they should even attack Basra and Baghdad with weapons of mass destruction. And you know what their answer was? No, we can't, because we're a God-fearing nation and it would be immoral and God would not approve. So this is yet another example, 100,000 victims of chemical weapons in Iran. So yeah, America's moral authority hasn't existed for decades, and I have been shocked that even back in 2003 that people were talking about weapons of mass destruction in Iraq. Excuse me, the United States is the biggest producer, distributor, and user of weapons of mass destruction, and it's going to be the moral authority to talk about who can and can't have them? It was absurd then, it's even more absurd now. Make no mistake, those who are running this world right now have a major incentive for a third world war.
The other points that you made, when you talk about the F-16s,
that was my next one.
It's desperation. Yeah, it's desperation. That's what we're dealing with. What do we send? What have we got left? Remember, we don't have much left. We produce, what, 300 or 400 Patriot missiles every year, maximum. We've run through our war stocks. We are really in a very difficult position. Somebody asked me the other day, well, if we go to war, can we win a war? I said, well, I suppose if it lasts a week. He said, why? Because in a week we run out of everything. Ammunition, missiles, rockets, you name it. That's how badly depleted our war stocks are. And so now, well, send them F-16s. But the danger here is something Americans don't want to miss. Ukrainians aren't going to be able to fly those things in combat. Right. If those aircraft fly, they're going to be flown in all probability by so-called American volunteers. That's very dangerous. Because if any of them are shot down, and I think that's a certainty, if
the United States is incapable of fighting a sustained conflict against a peer-level force. The United States cannot fight and engage China and win. We will not beat the Chinese. We cannot beat the Chinese, and we know this, and yet we're using the Philippines to create the conditions of potential conflict with the Chinese. Please understand that for the Filipino people, this is a recipe for disaster. You think America is your friend. So too did the Ukrainian people, and they are dying by the hundreds of thousands. The Ukrainians have been displaced by the tens of millions. That's not how friends behave. America has never been the friend of the Ukrainians, and we are not the friends of the Filipinos. We don't like you. If we did like you, we wouldn't be doing this to you. We are using you. You are a tool, nothing but a tool, and when the tool ceases to be useful, we will discard you. And discard you means usually after a war that devastates you. We are using you to gain some sort of momentary leverage over the Chinese. We will fail. The Chinese will win, and you will be destroyed. End of story. Continue to behave as colonial subjects, and I know that's a sort, grow up. Grow up and act responsibly. Take control of your own future. America is not here to help you. America is here only to use you. And we still view you as our colonial subjects. We don't like you. We don't care about you. We just want to use you until there's nothing left, and then we will discard you on the trash heap of history.
It's very important for the Philippines to be clear-eyed in what's going on and not to be led down the path by bellicose military people from the United States. Whatever you do, do not simply become a tool of the United States and be led into an armed conflict that ends up in disaster for the Filipino people.
But because they have succeeded in dividing us, we are watching them doing other things to our brothers, because they told us that a Congolese is not a Nigerian, a Ghanaian, a Togolese. So we are watching them destroying our brothers. But these same people can come back and pick Africans to go and fight for them, all in the name of Commonwealth is recruiting army, US Navy, US Army. But because they have packaged colonization in a very modernized way, the African is not seeing that they have never won any war. When Iran rose up and said, US, if you dare me, I will dare you. Before we realized that these people were destroying Libya, it was too late. Now look at the history of Libya. Look at DRC. When Trump came, that he was going to bring ceasefire between them and Rwanda in exchange for minerals. Now we have given our minerals to the United States of America. The war is still ongoing in Congo. Finally, Rwanda President Paul Kagame came out to tell us that the ceasefire agreement was between them and Rwanda and not the rebel groups. Have you seen how they are dividing us? And we are watching them doing everything that they want to do to us because we believe that these people are stronger than us. They are never stronger than us. They are aware. The white man fears you, the black person. It's just that they try to package the narrative in a different way. See how they are begging Mali, Niger, and Burkina Faso. So they will never dare any nation like North Korea, China, Russia. They will never try to look for trouble over there. We are seeing what they are trying to do in Venezuela, and this man is out. Nicholas is ready to fight them. So Trump will never dare. But Africa will always sit there and watch these people. We prefer to always salute these people. We see the white man as our God. What is wrong with us? Somebody who has nothing, who depends on your resources to survive, how can that person be stronger than you? They can never defeat us in any way. They do not have what it takes. Some of our things that they are very good, they don't invent anything. It was Thomas Mensah, a Ghanaian, who made the plane to be flying. You and I can have video calls because of this same Thomas Mensah, a Ghanaian. There are a lot of things that Africans are behind them, and they always cover all these things up, so you wouldn't know what you are capable of. Let's re-conscientize ourselves. Emancipate ourselves like Bob Marley told us. We are the only ones that can set ourselves free. United we stand, divided we fall, and united we keep standing forever and ever. The greatest enemy of the African is mental slavery. So let's decolonize ourselves from mental slavery. Let's keep sharing to educate our brothers and sisters. Together we make Africa great for ourselves and the next generations that are going to come. So that's the latest around the world. And in the United States of America,